night since 1968, and I wasn't going to go because of Fisher and Manfred, but I will always love the A's.
Two major sporting events here in the West tonight, both taking the future of their respective sports in a new direction.
Great opportunity for coaches to prolong their season and fans to travel to Vegas. A great site for a tournament, of course.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. It is a new era for Major League Baseball and college basketball, and a lot of fans are taking notice. In Las Vegas, a brand new college basketball tournament kicked off today, while at the same time, the A's are celebrating their first home opener in West Sacramento, a temporary home as they work their way toward Las Vegas in the coming years. We begin tonight's coverage of these major sporting events with KTVU's Jesse Gary, who has more tonight on the mixed emotions for A's fans who showed up at Sutter Health Park for tonight's game.
Let's go, Oakland! Let's go, Oakland!
Melissa Gutierrez and her sister packing up at their parents' Fairfield home for the drive to West Sacramento. This is a family of A's fans who've attended many opening day games at the Oakland Coliseum. This year, a new chapter as the green and gold, ditching their East Bay home of 56 years and moving east to the Bridge District of West Sacramento. They'll play at a park that's a bridge to what comes next for this franchise while entertaining the current and next generation of athletics fans.
It's going to be very weird. It's going to be, we've been thinking about this all week. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what to expect exactly. Definitely not themed like Oakland, because we've already been there by now. Opening day for us at home is like a holiday, so we plan this out for months in advance.
Not mad, I'm more sad because my family and we all used to go every year. But I still want to make memories with my nieces. They're little, they're still growing, so memories are still here. It's not time to be mad, it's just time to embrace the change a little bit.
That change sees the Athletics' old home preparing for a concert Monday night. This as some fans head to a new stadium for the next phase of Northern California baseball, while others sit at home, saying they're still too hurt to attend in person. Why come? Why continue to support the team?
Entertainment. It takes me back to Oakland. My brother passed away. My son's here. So, we got that bond, with the team.
We didn't have plans to go to Sacramento. Maybe we'll catch a game, but no, not today.
Every one of the roughly 14,000 fans who entered Sutter Health Park received this, a rally towel with Rickey Henderson's name and number on the back. The first of 81 home games for the Athletics against the Chicago Cubs. In West Sacramento, Jesse Gary, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
And the A's have taken another step toward building that new ballpark on the Las Vegas Strip. The Las Vegas Review-Journal reports the team filed a commercial building permit application last week. This permit would cover construction to create deep utility work. That project is expected to begin within the next 3 months. The 30,000-seat stadium in Vegas is expected to be ready by 2028. A new college basketball tournament made its debut earlier today in Las Vegas. Among the 16 schools taking part, Arizona State, Washington State, and USC. Fox's Sunny Sai shows us what it took to launch the inaugural year of the college basketball crown, with so much attention already on March Madness.
Playing in this new tournament is more than just about the bragging rights. $300,000 is on the line here at MGM Grand Garden Arena. 16 schools will fight it out on the court, and only one will be crowned champion at the end of this week.
It's a great opportunity for coaches to prolong their season and fans to travel to Vegas. A great site for a tournament, of course, and the players just to get a little bit more exposure.
16 schools are competing in a single elimination tournament this week.
It fits right in between the Elite Eight and the Final Four weekend. And I think it needed a change. I think it needed a spark. And I think the Crown Tournament provides all of that in one place.
The tournament features schools from several different conferences. Reps from 12 NBA teams are scheduled to attend the tournament, taking a peek at these students' talents.
I have a lot of NBA scouts here, a lot of NBA personnel, and anytime those players can get a little bit more exposure, that's good for everyone. Everyone wants to play, most of them want to play basketball after college, so this is an opportunity to kind of one more shot at getting someone's attention.
On top of the Crown Trophy, the winning team will also take home a $300,000 NIL package, while the runner-up gets a $100,000 package. The inaugural year features only men's teams, but women's teams could be on the way.
You got to start from somewhere. You got to get a sense and feel what works, what doesn't, how you can improve on it. That way, when you do introduce it to the women's side of the equation, you've kind of worked out everything, and it's a seamless transition to get the women involved as well.
The first 4 games kick off today with the championship game on Sunday. If anybody is looking for an excuse to come to Vegas this week, tickets are still available on Vivid Seats. In Las Vegas, Sunny Side, Fox News.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has called Las Vegas Sports Town USA. And here's a look at how the sports team has grown in the city over the last 5 years. In 2020, the Raiders moved to Las Vegas. The NFL held its draft there in 2022. That same year and in 2023, the city hosted Pro Bowl games. And also in 2023, Formula One racing returned with the Las Vegas Grand Prix. That event, which transforms the Strip into a racetrack, returned last year. Also in 2024, Allegiant Stadium hosted Super Bowl 53. And as far as professional basketball, just last week, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said that at this point he's not quite ready to address the potential for league expansion in Las Vegas. Today, former NFL star Richard Sherman posted new video on social media showing armed robbers breaking into his Seattle area home while his wife and children were inside. This happened late Saturday when 3 masked intruders broke a window to get inside the King County home. Sherman says his family was held at gunpoint, but there are no reports of anyone being injured. Investigators believe these same robbers broke into 5 other homes on that same night. Sherman played with the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers during his NFL career. Today in Arizona, jury selection began in the trial of the so-called Doomsday Mom, who's accused of planning the death of her then-husband. Prosecutors say Lori Vallow Daybell plotted that deadly shooting of Charles Vallow so she could collect on a $1 million life insurance policy. Her brother, Alex Cox, was accused of killing Charles Vallow in 2019. Cox died of natural causes before he could be charged. Daybell is representing herself in this case, and today she expressed frustration with prosecutors' request to keep some witnesses from testifying.
I feel like the state is trying to say, okay, if you want your speedy trial, guess what? We're not going to let you defend yourself. Guess what? You can't have any experts. And guess what else? You can't have any witnesses. You can't have anybody speak in your behalf. So good luck. Have a nice day.
The Lori that I see in courtroom is the Lori that I know. Fiery, insistent, sometimes belligerent, just wants to get her way and gets frustrated when she doesn't.
In a separate case, Daybell has also been charged with the attempted murder of her ex-nephew-in-law. In 2023, she was found guilty of being involved in the killings of her 2 children and her current husband's first wife. Police say those killings were motivated by money and a bizarre spiritual system. Investigators suspect an arsonist is to blame for a fire that damaged the New Mexico Republican Party headquarters. Images posted online show the damage from yesterday's fire at the office in Albuquerque. Investigators found incendiary materials at that scene. They also found spray paint on the side of the building that read, quote, "ICE equals KKK." Democrats, including New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, have denounced what happened. The governor issued a statement saying, quote, "There is no excuse for political violence or vandalism of any kind, and I strongly condemn Sunday's attack." President Trump says he will take the wraps off his tariffs plan on Wednesday, and this includes a 25% tax on all imported cars. Experts say the president's plan also is likely to include reciprocal tariffs to match those of other countries. Observers expect a major impact when it comes to residential construction. Canada, a major lumber supplier to the U.S., is going to be hit with 25% tariffs on top of the 14.5% tariffs already in effect. That could raise the price of an average new home by over $9,000. An expert tells us as much as 60% of any tariff is likely to be passed on to consumers.
Those who are in the middle class or lower class in the economic wealth paradigm are going to bear more of the burden of the tax as a percentage of their income.
One analyst estimates that foreign car prices will increase as much as $10,000 if the tariffs are implemented. That could lead to a rise in used car prices as well, and repair costs for cars could also go up since half of all car parts come from overseas. Stocks were mostly higher today on Wall Street on a roller coaster day of trading as investors are bracing for the impact of those tariffs this week. The Dow gained 417 points, erasing an earlier loss during the session. The Nasdaq slipped by 23 points, and the S&P 500 was up by over 30 points today. Tesla saw a drop of nearly 2%. Shares of chipmaker Nvidia were down over 1%. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a judge in New Mexico clears the way for the release of new evidence, including body camera footage related to the deaths of actor Gene Hackman and his wife. Tonight, the restrictions the judge is putting in place on those materials.
And looking outdoors towards sunset in the San Francisco Bay Area, March is going out like a lion. We have the complete West Coast Wrap forecast coming up as the news continues right here after this fast Fox break.
Also coming up tonight, a baker in the Seattle area is offering a unique way to satisfy your sweet tooth. We'll introduce you to the woman behind the Cake ATM that's quickly become a local sensation. Today, a New Mexico judge cleared the release of new information about actor Gene Hackman's death, but there are some caveats. The judge says redacted police body camera video and other investigative materials can be made public as long as depictions of Hackman and his wife are blocked from view. A representative for the Hackman family estate asked the judge to keep records sealed to protect the family's privacy. The bodies of Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found at their home back in February. Hackman died of heart disease and complications from Alzheimer's. A rare case of hantavirus killed his wife. A wildfire in eastern California has prompted evacuation orders tonight. CAL FIRE reports the Silver Fire has burned more than 1,200 acres near the town of Bishop on the eastern side of the Sierra. This fire started yesterday. No injuries have been reported here, and it remains unclear what caused this fire.
Wind can create a lot of issues. Today it's actually in our favor because it's burning away from our houses.
Firefighters outside of Las Vegas are benefiting from the direction of the winds. Crews are battling a fire that's grown to at least 5 acres in Wetlands Park. Fortunately, today's winds are blowing away from homes in that area, which is good news. The fire started this morning, and it does appear to be dying down, although crews say they have no estimate on when it will be fully contained. Wetlands Park has been evacuated, and the cause of this fire is under investigation tonight. Firefighters in Arizona are hoping that strong winds don't complicate their missions this week. They are dealing with gusty winds, and that's what's expected in many parts of the state through this coming Wednesday as we take this beautiful live look tonight at downtown Phoenix as the sun is setting there. A red flag warning is in effect, though, for some areas southwest of the Phoenix Valley. For more on the conditions we can expect here in the coming days, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Roberta Gonzalez. Roberta,
Boy, wasn't that beautiful?
gorgeous shot.
Yeah, things will be improving in the Phoenix area. The temperature is going to take a huge nosedive because of this behind me right here. It is going to be a relatively cold front by the time it slices through the state of Arizona, but right now it's been producing some copious amounts of precipitation in throughout the Pacific Northwest. Look how beautiful this is. You can see the core of the area low pressure right here off the Oregon coastline here, and then the wraparound moisture slices around that northwestern section of the state of California, backing through the Bay Area. Clouds inundate the Los Angeles area, and then we go right into the Phoenix region where you had a high thin cloud today. You had some gusty winds, but that red flag warning is in effect not just outside of Phoenix, but all the way through Casa Grande into Tucson, all the way into Tombstone, and then Sierra Vista. And it does include Benson. Meanwhile, you see a little bit of light smattering rain showers off the San Diego coast. You'd want that to move into Arizona to help with that red flag warning, but it's not going to happen. It's disintegrating in the dry air mass. Phoenix today, average high temperatures 81, and today 82, so pretty near perfect. Meanwhile, let's head on over to the Los Angeles area, taking a look at LAX with plenty of cloud cover, a smattering of rain, not amounting to much. Average high temperature this time of the year was 71 degrees, and today topping off that a pair of sixes. Meanwhile, looking at the San Francisco Bay Area, 5/100ths of an inch of rain to start the morning off with the overnight showers and ending up with so far 1/3 of an inch of precipitation. Average high 62 and today topping off at 61 degrees. Beautiful skyline of Seattle. And you were pretty spot on as well. Average highs 51 degrees. 14/100ths of an inch of precipitation did fall. Other notable numbers, it was 64 degrees at the state capital of California, 65 in Fresno, and we had 87 degrees in beautiful Palm Springs. Now that area of low pressure will continue to fall apart as it moves in an easterly direction and sags also to the south, bringing more rain showers, however, to the Oregon area and also right here. The Bay Area has a strong opportunity for a pop-up thunderstorm at any point of the day. Meanwhile, the Greater Lake Tahoe area expecting yet another foot of snow at the highest elevations and another 6 inches down to 6,200 feet. Here's your forecast for the next couple of days to come. Here will dry out in the Bay Area, plentiful sunshine by Thursday. Same in the Los Angeles area, cooler in Arizona and Denver. You're looking sweet until Thursday.
Thank you. On this International Transgender Day of Visibility, Seattle's mayor signed legislation to strengthen protections for people seeking gender-affirming and reproductive health care in the city. Fox 13's Shira Matsuzawa reports today's signing comes just days after police say a transgender person was attacked in the city's University District.
This moment, showing Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell signing legislation safeguarding access to gender-affirming and reproductive health care services in Seattle, is a moment that for some goes beyond the pen and paper.
This is not just policy. This is life-saving. This is dignity. This is giving power back to the people who have felt powerless for far too long.
This ordinance takes the first step in protecting our rights and protecting the healthcare providers who work tirelessly to ensure that everyone has access to reproductive services and gender-affirming care.
LGBTQ+ city employees, along with the Seattle LGBTQ Commission, work together to create the legislation.
This is a city where diversity is celebrated and not just accepted, but embraced and protected.
And protections were top of mind after police say 4 people attacked a transgender person on Thursday.
And when we see this hate that we saw in the University District, that reminds us that it's not just hugging one another, it's protecting as well.
On Friday, police arrested a 39-year-old man in connection with that attack. Police say the group beat the victim on the sidewalk, calling them a drag queen while punching and kicking them. While that attack was physical. And here in Seattle, Mayor Harrell also talked about the attacks from the White House.
The egregious attempts from the Trump administration to target and dehumanize LGBTQ+ people, particularly transgender people, they seem to almost be proud of this hate.
When Fox 13 asked if this ordinance puts a target on Seattle's back, Mayor Harrell responded like this.
I don't know, is there something? With this community, we're prepared to fight in an unprecedented way. We are already a target. People here, they've been targets their whole life. We're not going to run. We're not going to stand still like a target. We're going to fight.
And that was Fox 13's Shira Matsuzawa reporting tonight. That new legislation also extends Washington's SHIELD law into the municipal code. That law protects people from out of state who travel to Seattle for gender-affirming or reproductive care. Organizers say International Transgender Day of Visibility is set aside to celebrate the joy and resilience of transgender and non-binary people. In Washington, D.C., people observed the day by gathering near the U.S. Capitol complex to listen to speakers expressing their support for transgender rights and condemning the Trump administration for its executive orders defining gender as only male or female and banning the use of non-binary markers on passports. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a Phoenix woman hoping to do something this year that no other woman has ever accomplished. Coming up tonight, she shows us how she is training for an extreme triathlon. And imagine getting cake from an ATM. We'll introduce you to a Washington mom who's making that possible.
You can browse my menu right there on your phone online, and then you check out. And when you check out, it magically unlocks the refrigerator, and you take your order and enjoy and be on your way.
Lawmakers in Oregon are considering an effort to end mail-in voting in the state. Republicans in the legislature introduced a bill that would return Oregon to in-person voting and also require voters to show ID to cast their ballots. The legislation does have exemptions for military personnel overseas. Democrats oppose the bill, and they maintain a majority in Oregon's legislature. An Arizona athlete is hoping to make history in Nepal this year. Fox 10's Dominique Newland spoke to her about training for an extreme triathlon.
We're going from very beginner to I'm trying to be the first woman to ever do something in the sport of triathlon.
Phoenix native and triathlete Jennifer Volman has her eyes on the prize, training to reach the summit of a challenge course in Nepal. And she's come a long way from her first triathlon that she started at age 33.
My whole life, I always thought I was an athlete, even though no signs indicated that I was. But in that moment, I was like, oh man, I really am an athlete. I was a triathlete the whole time. I just never knew it until that moment.
Growing up, Jennifer says she was told by a PE teacher she was too feminine to be an athlete. But she's proving the doubters wrong, now training 15 to 20 hours a day, all to reach a finish line in 13,000-foot altitude in the Himalayas. But it's not without some help.
What we can do with those specific tests is identify her LT1 and her LT2 so she knows exactly where she needs to work for that long duration endurance exercise.
The team at Human Powered Health assisting Jennifer with assessments to understand her body more, learning about her pace and the moment she can push her body or maybe pull back.
Like an Ironman will take me 10 hours. This is double the amount of time, and I'm gonna have to really manage my effort to make sure that I can sustain myself for 20 hours of effort at that extreme altitude. No race that I know of has those different components of both the altitude and the distance and the amount of climbing together.
And the climb of her life will begin on May 10th. With one foot in front of the other, Jennifer hoping to inspire others that it's never too late to find your inner athlete, and that education is power. For Fox 10 News, I'm Dominique Newland.
And finally tonight, a self-taught baker in Seattle has turned her passion into a booming business. For the past couple of months, Nicole Conley has been selling slices of cake out of a smart fridge in her front yard. Customers simply scan a QR code, browse the menu, and check out, and that unlocks the fridge for them to access their treats. People are calling the self-serve smart fridge the Cake ATM, and the word has certainly gotten out in the community. The cakes often sell out within just a couple of hours. Business is going so well that Nicole is upgrading this weekend, replacing the fridge with a bigger one. What a fantastic and delicious idea she has. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. A quick reminder before we head out, you can stay up to date on all the major stories we're covering across the West at our website, westcoastwrap.com. And please stream our shows on your smart TV. All you have to do is download the free Fox Local app. A beautiful look at the sunset over the Bay Area. Have a great night.